Hello. Thank you. So we'll get started. I know people are trickling in at 10 o'clock on Friday morning, which is quite early for the Cannes standard. And I was actually up pretty late, or I should say early this morning, and I was surprised how many people were still out at, I'm not going to say what time it was, but it was embarrassingly early. My name is Ray Inamoto. I'm Chief Creative Officer of AKQA. And before I start the presentation, I wanted to give a little bit of background about Future Lions' presentation. Back in 2006, we had an opportunity with Cannes to do a seminar. And as with any seminar, we had to give a topic for the presentation. And our initial thinking for the seminar was to talk about our perspective, our thinking on trends, where the industry is headed, the state of the advertising industry. But the reality of a lot of these seminars, as you probably have witnessed, those of you who have attended a lot of the seminars, is that a lot of them do talk about perspectives, thinking about the industry. So instead of us coming up with, hey, here's our point of view on the industry, what we decided to do was to throw that question back to the audience. The other thing that we thought about is the industry that we are in is obviously the advertising industry, the communication industry, marketing industry at large. But at the same time, I strongly believe that we are in the industry of creating the future. And the people who are creating the future, I like to think that it's us, but also it's the younger generation, specifically students. And we took that insight to turn that into a competition, actually, to challenge the students to come up with ideas. So the background of Future Lions, essentially, is a global student competition that we run in conjunction with Cannes. And we've been running it since 2006. And this is the fourth installment of the Future Lions competition. And today, we are going to present the 5 winners that we picked from a lot of the entries that we received from literally every single region in the world. Before I do that, what I like to do is I like to introduce a couple of people who are going to join me on the stage, and they are going to have a discussion around the role of creativity. So the first person I would like to welcome to the stage is Tom Bedecker. Tom? Tom is the CEO of AKQA, my boss. Thank you, Tom. And the other person really is a legend in this industry. And I don't know what introduction I can give or I should give. The part of the reason why I'm able to stand on this stage is because I was inspired by somebody like Rick when I was a student to get into this industry in the first place, to create communication and create the work that we all do today. And currently, he is the director of Brand Center at VCU, and he was former Chief Creative Officer of Ogilvy. So that's Rick Boyko. Thank you. I'm extremely humbled and honored to have Rick's presence with us and to be able to share stage. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get off stage for a little bit, and they are going to have a conversation around the topic of the role of creativity, role of education in creativity. So Tom and Rick.
Thanks, Ray. Oh, good morning, Rick. Thanks for joining us. I imagine when you were running Creative for North America, Ogilvy, and other times, you made a presence here on the stage to collect Cannes Lions, and I know you were a judge in determining who was going to be up here on stage. Could you tell us a little bit about why you made a choice to go from being in the industry to helping teach the next generation of people in the industry?
Sure, thank you. First, thank you and AKQA for putting this on. It's been a terrific event, and our students are really excited to participate in this one show in particular. And yeah, when I made the transition from Chief Creative Officer at Ogilvy, it was 7 years ago that I made the switch, 7 years ago this month. And I had been Chief Creative Officer for Ogilvy for about 7 years. I had been at Ogilvy for 15, had been at Chiat Day, and started at Leo Burnett. And, in all the time, most agencies had great training programs. At Leo Burnett, I was trained. They had a terrific training program. David Ogilvy used to have a a great training program. David used to say.
I'm an alumni of the Ogilvy training program.
Yeah, and as many people are. And David used to say we do two things. We create communications for our clients, and we teach young people advertising. Most of that has gone away. As contraction has happened throughout the years and several different depressions, the agencies have pretty much cut back any training programs, and if they do, they're not of the same caliber as they used to be. And so a lot of schools popped up. There's many in Europe, and obviously in the United States there's several. And I was sort of looking at what should I be doing next. Been in the business for 31 years, and felt it was time to maybe give back. And felt that at that time 7 years ago, it was very difficult to get the integration in an agency, especially the size of one of Ogilvy that had Ogilvy One, which was direct and interactive, and the general side, and trying to bring them together. And found the general side, there was a reluctance to want to embrace a lot of what was going on, and I felt that it was slow to in trying to get the company to come together. I felt